All right, week 9 of the Coach Show here with Coach Brandon Smith. Last week, big win against Central Hardin, 49-0. With this win, it makes y'all 8-0 and 2-0 in district play for the season. What was your thoughts on how the team competed this past Friday?
I thought they did a good job. I thought they came in focused, they're prepared. I thought they had the right mindset and warm-ups, and then, they came out, executed, and took care of business.
Offensive side of the ball, 49 points, 298 total yards, 150 rush yards, 148 pass yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 4 passing touchdowns. Quarterbacks Cam Page and Chase Bell combined for a perfect 9 of 9 through the air, totaling 142 passing yards with 4 touchdowns. Freshman running back Walker Summers had a big game on the ground, totaling 72 rush yards, 2 touchdowns. How important is it to have young guys you can go to and they produce numbers like he did this past Friday?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you get up in a game and you start to put in your second team guys and then so on, it's really comforting as a coach to know that there's not going to be a drop off, and that they can carry their own and do their own thing. And I think we've proven, or some of our guys have proven that. And, Walker being one of them, but. I thought the second group and, even after that did a really nice job Friday of, not taking their foot off the gas and keep executing and kind of having the same standard as the older guys did.
Receivers Justin Capps, Jake Carter, and Griffin Reynolds are all names that we're used to hearing week in and week out. All 3 of them had good games. They all had all had a touchdown this past Friday. There were 10 different players who had receptions in this game, most of them we don't normally talk about. Having depth is important, especially this time of year. But speak about the younger guys who compete every week and make the most of their opportunities when they get the chance.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Again, as a coach, you have a lot of those guys that are playing your scout teams, and they're getting beat up on every single week, and they're doing the dirty work every single week, and so. When they get their chance on Friday night, that's rewarding for everybody. For them, kind of see that payoff from paying their dues. But the coaches, the older players, everybody gets excited when those guys get in there and they take advantage of their opportunities and they make plays, and they can kind of see the future coming, down the road for those guys.
Defense side of the ball. Defense had another big game this week, pitching another shutout, 0 points, 26 total yards, -3 rush yards, not even really allowed, 29 pass yards, 14 tackles for loss. Cole Kuzma had 4 total tackles, 1 solo, 3 assisted, and 1 tackle for loss. Will Mays had 3 total tackles, 3 assisted, 3 tackles for loss. TK Darden had 3 total tackles, 1 solo, 2 assists, 1 tackle for loss, and a bunch of other players had a bunch of tackles. So, like I said, another big game by the defense this week, especially not allowing any rush yards. How do you keep the defense from getting content, especially when they played so consistently through the year?
Yeah, they've done a good job, and Friday, it's similar to the offense. Those guys didn't play a whole lot of snaps because they took care of business. They had a lot of 3 and outs, and then you kind of again get to see the future a little bit coming in there and doing their thing. So I was pleased with how they played. I'm pleased with how they played, especially the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think they've kind of had a different mentality post that Hopkinsville game. We challenged them quite a bit after that game, and they've done a good job of keeping that mindset through this point, and then we got to keep going.
Upcoming game this week at home against Daviess County, last district game of the season. They're 4-4 on the season, 1-1 in district play, coming off of a 21-20 loss to Meade County. What are your thoughts and expectations on this game coming up?
Yeah, I think Daviess County is going to be a little bit different challenge than what we've played the last couple weeks. They're 4-4, like you said. They've got a new coaching staff that's come in there, and I think it's done a really nice job. And you can kind of see their mindset betrayed onto the players of they're going to be really aggressive, they're really confident the way they play. They're going to take a lot of shots on offense, aggressive on defense. Special teams, they're going onside kick it every time. They're going to go for 2 every time. They're going to fake punts. They're going to do the whole thing, and they're playing to win. And those kids, like I said, they have the same mindset the way they play. So that's different. That's a different challenge than what we've seen the last couple of weeks. So we got to be prepared for that, and I think our guys understand that. It's going to be a little bit different this week, and so we're excited for that challenge.
Top-notch fan question of the week comes from Zoe Merrill. What part of your team's growth this season makes you the proudest?
I think, for me, I really enjoy the best part of coaching to me is kind of the team chemistry side of it. And I really enjoy that part. And I think, that's always my favorite part from a growth standpoint of, you kind of see it in January and February, and then, kind of July when you get everybody there and you see the team dynamics and the makeup, and then trying to make it all fit to where they play together as a unit. And I think we have come a long way from July until now for that team chemistry. And I really think these guys enjoy each other. I really believe they get along, and they believe in what they're doing. And you see the belief in one another too. That's just kind of getting stronger and stronger every game. And so that part to me is the exciting part. It's the part I enjoy the most.
Top-notch players of the week. Offensive player of the game is Tucker Sears, 2 receptions, 43 yards, no drops, 1 touchdown. Defensive player of the game is Corbin Logan, recorded 1 solo tackle and 1 pass breakup. Speak on what stood out to you this week about both of these players.
Yeah, Tucker's just been a solid guy the whole season through. And, it's easy. He does a lot of little things that go unnoticed, but he's very physical. He's not the biggest guy out there, but his mentality and the way he plays is very physical. And, he had a couple big plays, but he also had a couple really big blocks in that game as well. And just been like I said, a solid player all the way through the season. And then I thought Corbin had a really nice game. He had a couple really nice plays, breakups, and he's kind of the same boat of, it's easy for him to get lost in the shuffle because he just does his job every week and, takes care of what he's supposed to take care of. And then, but when he's been getting his opportunities lately, he's been making those plays. So both those guys have made a lot of progress this season.
Well, that wraps up the Coaches Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, everything that we do, so you can have a chance to win a free mini split at the end of the year. Also, don't forget to ask fan questions of the week to win a free 7 Brew gift card.